You're muted, I think. Three people said it. Oh, they can hear me. It wouldn't be a Blazers Uprise podcast if we didn't have a mute problem at some point, right?
Okay, there we go. I don't know. I'm a little bit rusty. So, what's up? What's up? Redo the intro, I guess. I don't know why my mic wasn't selected. I went to my mic and I went to select mic and it had nothing selected. I don't know. I guess it resets if I don't use it for a while because I haven't been, I haven't been on, like, I have different setups in my streaming software. I've been using my video game setup because all I've been doing is 2K streams. But I hadn't used this podcast setup in a while, so I wonder if it reset. I don't know, but your mic worked. I don't know. I'm tripping. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a Blazers Uprise podcast. As I said when you guys couldn't hear me, we're back to a sense of normalcy here because we got a podcast. It's been a while since we've done one of these, and these podcasts are only going to be Monday, Friday. Might do a live stream on Wednesday every now and then. I don't know if that's just if we feel like it. But we'll kind of play that by ear. But just plan on Monday and Friday. This podcast, we will talk about basketball because this is a basketball channel, but it'll also be a little bit of a lifestyle podcast, I guess you could call it as well. You know, everything we're dealing with coronavirus. We'll, talk to you guys about the stuff that you're dealing with. We can just kind of sit here and vibe and play it by ear. Eric, you're really close to the camera. You got a center. My OCD is okay. There, my OCD is satisfied now. So what's going on, everybody? How you doing on a Monday?
Yeah, that's the other thing about these podcasts. We want to interact with you guys, see how everyone's holding up, and just basically have it open to chat and be a part of the community again so we all feel like normal, hopefully.
That's the goal. And just to keep you guys engaged and, just keep this thing trudging through the murky waters that we have ahead of us. We'll talk about today. We're going to talk about what the NBA could look like when we return. I'll also talk about that mock off season. But first, let's get into picks against the spread. Oh wait, we don't got any picks. Never mind. We could bet on the weather or something because I know that's what people are betting on nowadays. Could bet on NASCAR iRacing. I don't know what you got to bet on really. But yeah, sadly, no picks against the spread.
Tommy said he'll take the points.
He'll take the points. Smart man.
On anything. Yeah.
Smart man. So to start this podcast, I think I'm going to get into basically our plan for the mock off season because some people are confused with that. I will put out like a video going into more detail in the next couple of days. But just to explain it, let's talk about it a little bit right here. So basically the mock off season, because there's a guy on my Twitter that watches. I don't know if he's in here right now, but he said he's only on Xbox though, and it's like this isn't going to be like a 2K online association type of thing. Okay, this mock off season, basically I'll assign everybody a team, and let me pull up a display capture real quick. Actually, I can pull it over your face. So basically this is how I'm gonna select teams, right? Just starting off from here. I'll have a random number generator that I'll put up. Let me see if I can put it up here. So this is just hypothetical. We're not picking teams today. I know I teased it in the update video, but that was a little bit too ambitious. Just because we gotta make sure spots fill up. But basically, this is how I'll do it. So I'll roll for the Blazers. Say we got 12 people right now. There should be 1 through 30, but say we got, we only got 12 right now. So let's just hypothetically do it 1 for 12. I'll roll for the Blazers first, just to get that out of the way, since I assume that's going to be the team people want most. I rolled. It's a 5. Portland made would have the Blazers if he wants. Then I'd roll a number. So I'd, go here. drag the Portland Trailblazers over to Portland made. Then I'd roll 1 through 12. We got 11, which is let me on, dude. So then I'd go 1 through 30 and generate 3 teams for him to choose between. 10 is Charlotte, 16 is Dallas, and
Brian Scalabrine says to add him. He's not on there, he said.
Okay, yeah, I'll add him.
So we have a 13th.
So basically the 3 options for Let Me On, dude, this is just all hypothetical, would be Dallas, Charlotte, and the Clippers. And he could pick one of those 3 teams. Say he picked the Clippers, would move him on to there. That'd be his team. Then I'd roll again for who gets to pick next. And we do it like that too. It would be Destrom, go back to 1 through 30. And randomly generate the teams. He'd have to choose between Boston, 6 already taken. You're trying to peek in the window. So, like, he'd get to choose between Boston, Indiana, and Miami. He'd get to pick one of those teams. And that's basically how we're going to select teams. I thought that was a fun way to, like, make it random, but also give each person but also give each person, like, the opportunity to choose what teams they want in a way, but also have it kind of random. So that is the plan with selecting teams. So basically, we're going to select teams, hopefully Friday, I'm thinking. Hopefully we have, like, enough. Some people might have to run 2 teams. The people that run 2 teams, they'll get their second team. They pick that last, so everybody will get rolled through, and then anybody who would want a second team, because I think 30 is a bit too much. I think we'll probably have around maybe 20, I'm hoping. Maybe we could have more, but basically what the mock off season is everybody will be in Discord. So if you're not in our Discord, I'll put a link in that update video. I'll put a link in that description. And basically what it is you'll be able to make moves for that team, and then we'll let you trade for a week or so. Then we'll hit a mock draft, basically, and everybody will draft over the course of, like, 3-4 days or whatever. And we'll have, like, a thread in the Discord where you can make your picks. And we'll do it like that. And basically everything is, like, offline through Discord. I don't know if you want to maybe work on the sheets. I could help you with that, Eric. We can work on sheets for people where they have, like, their roster and what, their draft picks, all that. But basically it's going to be offline. It's not going to be, like, through 2K. I will plug the moves into 2K after we're done with it, and then, like, simulate next season just to see how teams would do. But we'll get to that. Don't worry about that now. It's going to be offline. Basically, we're going to be testing your mettle as a GM. Trade rules are going to be in place. So basically, we're going to see how you do running your team, making moves for this upcoming off season, basically. And I thought it would be cool. I'll do, like, an update video, like, covering moves, but I thought it'd be cool if, like, we devoted a podcast segment to, like, analyzing moves that people have made.
Yeah.
I thought that'd be a great idea to involve the community, give you guys something to do, give you guys something fun while you're quarantined, and create content around it. So that is the plan with that. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat, and I can answer them right now.
Tanner Butler says, "Did you get me? I'm the dude from Twitter."
Yeah, I'll put you in there.
Hi, Mom.
So we got we got 14. We got 14, which is pretty good. So
yeah.
So Tanner, did that kind of clear things up a little bit? My explanation. I don't know if you came in the middle of all that. But hopefully that cleared things up for some of you guys. It'll be fun to draw the teams too and all that. Go ahead.
Basically, like, you'll have your team, and then you can, like, if I'm the Blazers and I wanted to make a trade with the Hawks, I would, like, contact the other Hawks GM on Twitter or on Discord.
Hawks.
I mean,
yep.
And yeah, I would message you on Discord and be like, "Hey, Tori, I'm interested in trading, CJ McCollum for John Collins or whatever," and then we'd have, like, discussions like a real GM would, whether that's a possibility or not, or you can blow up your team and rebuild, or you can like, try to, like, if you were the Bucks, you could try to, build a championship roster or whatever. Like, you can make it whatever you want. It'd be your team.
Wow, that's cool. It says what I'm streaming in Discord. So basically, let me like just show you guys how it will work in Discord. We'll have specific threads that only show up to people that are participating in this. So people that are participating in this, their name will be in blue. We have our general chat, but like people participating, I can give them a role as like a participant in this, and their name will show up in blue. And I can actually like, so let's go to Dame Dollar here. I can actually change the nickname. It will only change in the server. So I could do like the team in parentheses. So say he ended up being the 76ers. I could do that, and you can see that Dame Dollar is the 76ers. So you could go to one of these mock threads. All these people are participants. You could be like, okay, I want to trade with the Sixers. Go to Dame Dollar. You can send him a message. So make sure you have your messages on if you're going to participate in this. But basically, that's how it works. You could send him a message directly on Discord and negotiate a trade with him. So that I figured that was the easiest way to do this. Reset. There we go. I figured that was the easiest way to do this. Clear, straightforward. So everything's going to be through Discord. If it would make it easiest if people's names on Discord matched up with the name they use on YouTube. But you don't have to, obviously it's your Discord name. But you just gotta like let me know on Discord who you are from YouTube, so I can match it up and so I can assign you that role as a participant in this mock off season. And that's how everything will work. That's a general overview. I'll go into more detail in a video, and it will be probably more clear than I just explained it. I have Discord. How do I find your channel? I will post an invite link. Let me open it back up. I'll post an invite link in the chat right now. Actually, I'll just do it on my phone. So let's see.
Brian, the plan right now is to just do the 2020 off season and then see how the season goes with all your moves. I mean, if we still have time and we don't have the NBA for a while, I mean, we could go further down the road too. That's the tricky thing too with these things is you can trade future picks, but you have to be somewhat realistic. So Tori and I might have like an override on trading future picks if we feel like you're not valuing future picks just because it's a 1 year thing or whatever.
Yeah, that is the problem we've ran into in the past when we've done this type of thing, because we've done this type of thing the past couple years, so we do have some experience running this, and people would just trade away a bunch of future picks since they're only focused on 1 year. So yeah, we do, if you're we do want you to try and be like realistic as a GM, if that makes sense. Like, we want you guys to have fun with this. We want this to be something fun for you guys, but also we want you guys to be like have the mindset of a GM basically, and not trade a 2026 first round pick for a very mediocre, for like Damian Dotson, just because 2026 doesn't matter. I don't know what people will come up with, but there will be people that definitely are kind of a little loose with their picks, which you can be. You'll have freedom, but just don't go crazy with not valuing future picks because it's only a 1 year thing.
Yeah, last year when we did it, we had a guy who was the Orlando Magic give up like all their young players and all their future picks for Chris Paul. It's like, yeah, no, dude, like.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. My phone's glitching. Let's see. Share link. No, share link. I need to copy it to my clipboard, and then I need to drop it in this chat. Why would other people trade picks if the later years don't matter? Because you get some people that are like valuing, using the mindset of a GM, like, oh, I'm getting a bunch of future picks, that's a good trade. Whereas you have somebody else that is, not valuing any future picks. But that's what I'm hoping with us, like, analyzing moves and grading teams, that people will take it more seriously. Because if you trade, like, 3 future firsts for some mediocre role player, we're gonna be breaking it down on stream saying, hey, Dame Dollar here, he didn't make a good trade. I grade this a D- on his end because he gave up 3 future first round picks for God, why am I blanking on mediocre role players? I don't even know. He gave up 3 future first round picks for Maurice Harkless. So Maurice Harkless free agent, but you know what I mean. That type of thing, like
Yeah.
Anyway, so hopefully this all makes sense for y'all.
Yeah, and the thing is too, so when we're through free agency and stuff, we're gonna have you guys like have a little blurb about what your goal was and if you accomplished that, how you think you did, giving your roster update. Like, so if you were going for a rebuild and you got like 5 future first round picks, but your team might suck this year, you would still be graded pretty well based on the fact that that's what you were going for and you accomplished your goals.
Exactly.
Versus someone who like maybe has like a team that'll finish 4th in the West but gave up all their future picks and have no future if they don't win the title this year. So
our grades will be dependent on like the team that you're given. Like, what did you make the best out of the team you were given? If you're given the Knicks, it's not going to be, it's not a great team. They're not in a great situation. If you do what we think is like a good job given that situation, you'll get a good grade. So it will be dependent on the team you get. Obviously, getting the team like the Lakers or the Clippers, you can have a championship level roster because you start with one, so you're not going to be graded an A just because you have a championship level roster. It's like, okay, what do you do with the team you're given? It might be harder to get a good grade with the Lakers and the Clippers than a team like the Knicks, just because the Lakers and Clippers, their rosters are already there.
Well, with the Knicks too, like you don't have to worry about James Dolan meddling with your business in this one. You can just do whatever you want.
True. All right, let me give Clay's. By the way, Clays, how are you feeling? Because Eric Glazer was diagnosed with coronavirus. He's been quarantining. Wanted to know how he's doing, how he's feeling.
Yeah, he said earlier he's considered recovered and went outside today, flying home commercially tomorrow to Germany.
Awesome. All right, there. Added. Is the need girl advice in Discord? Is that when you guys participated? Exclamation point, need girl advice.
Hey, we could provide that service too.
Is that, yeah, like I said at the start, this could be a little bit of a lifestyle podcast. Girl advice during this quarantine might be a little bit hard, you know what I mean? Like, it would be based off, okay, are you texting her 5 times in a row? Because you're bored out of your mind in quarantine. Might not be the move. So,
Dame Dollar says that's definitely Yo-Yo Mama. I don't know if he needs girl advice, though.
Is Yo-Yo Mama participating?
I don't know.
Brian Scalabrine got to get in there.
But I think Russell Westbrook said he would do it, but several people are convinced that he's also Yo-Yo Mama, and
I think he is. I'm gonna write him down with a question mark. Thomas Saransky is. Are you doing it? Because I know you were.
He said he would.
Okay.
He really wants Chicago, though.
He really wants Chicago? Well, I don't think I think there will be people that pass on Chicago if they're granted Chicago. Honestly, thinking about this, should I even draw for the Blazers first, or should I like just have them in the group of teams, and when they pop up, somebody will probably take them? You know what I mean?
That'd be cool too. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just do it like that. I'll just do it like that instead of drawing for them first. I'll randomly have them pop up because they will pop up. Anyway, okay. So we got, if Russell Westbrook does it, we got 15, which is a good number actually, and we could maybe invite some people off our forum to fill out spots. I think we'll have a pretty full amount of people. I wouldn't hate if there's not 30, because then I'd control 2 teams, and then I'd get like the bottom of the barrel as my second team. I would hate controlling 2 teams. Thing is, if we do have to have a few people with 2 teams, they won't be able to trade amongst each other. That is a rule that we've put in place, so that they're not able to like stack up one team and crush another.
So. Tommy says he's going to trade Levine for Caboclo because he loves.
As well.
I think he'll be a free agent this summer, so you can just that'll be your number 1 signing.
Yeah. See,
we need to go through one of the videos around the trade deadline because there were so many people talking trades. Like I think a lot of people would like some of this. So maybe I'll try
Yeah,
to do some research and find some people.
yeah, yeah. I know people have kind of checked out a little bit. Obviously, we only have 13 viewers right now, which in the middle of the season we'd have like 50, 60. Also makes me kind of wonder, like, what are people doing right now? I've figured people would be quarantined, bored, tuning in, but I'm not complaining at all. We're chilling. I'm just curious about some of the people out there that are,
Dame Dalla, Tommy Thompson is Thomas Aransky right above you in chat. He didn't want his full name on the YouTube page,
which I get, and I'm pretty used to Thomas Aransky now.
And Travioli got married, and we haven't seen him since.
He got locked down. He's not allowed to watch YouTube anymore. It's tragic. Definitely going to need you guys to help coach a little bit with CBA stuff, like which MLE you get, etc. So what we've done for this is Eric's actually, and I think you have like the spreadsheet set up, right? You have like the setup, and we just have to edit them.
Yeah, I can get them to you.
Yeah, and obviously no rush. But Eric has spreadsheets that like shows you your like players you have on player options, players you have on team options, their salaries, what picks you have, what future picks you have, like has the details for your whole team. And he actually, like, it's through Google Drive, so he actually updates it as moves are made. So if you make a trade for somebody, he'll update it. So that's how you can keep track of your updated roster, your updated picks, that type of thing. It actually works really, really well. So Clay's he'll have you on that. And what are we gonna decide for the hard cap? We're gonna challenge you guys. Part of this is I hope you guys kind of maybe learn the CBA a little bit more just by like making GM moves, because we will have the rules in place. During that video, I will do a quick rundown on like the most important CBA rules you guys need to know, such as what puts the hard cap into place, what is the hard cap, what the different mid-level but free agency wise for the mid-level exceptions, we're going to wait on that because that'll be like after the draft. So stage 1 is going to be like trading and then the draft, and then stage 2 will be free agency. So we're going to focus on stage 1. So like the first video I drop on it tomorrow will be focusing on like CBA trade rules you need to know, if that makes sense. And Eric, you can like help me put together like a blueprint for what I should cover, but I'll try and make it like simple, and you guys watch us, and the thing is, if you put through a trade that doesn't work, we'll just let you know, and we'll tell you why it doesn't work and that type of thing. If you put through a trade that does work, we'll have like a trade confirmation process. We'll probably just message the other person that trade and say, hey, do you agree to this trade? But you wouldn't. So basically, if you came to an agreement with somebody, a verbal agreement with somebody, you would send me or Eric the details of the trade, and then if it worked, we'd go to the other person and say, hey, do you agree to this trade? If they said yes, then we'd have a thread where we'd post trades that have been pushed through. Unless you have like a better process for that, Eric, through Discord.
Well, that sounds good.
Okay, so that'll be like the process for like pushing through trades, that type of thing. And if you have any questions about certain things, you can always message us on Discord. I'll try and be as active as possible. And yeah, hopefully this is a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'm looking forward to basing content around this. It should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Also, I'll tweet out. I'll maybe tweet out like big trades or whatnot, with the hashtag mock off season or something. But I'll like tweet out some of the moves that are made. That'll be cool to see, like Twitter's reaction, that type of thing. But I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys are as GMs. I'm looking forward to it. All right, I'm gonna be swindling some of you guys via trade, okay? Because I'm gonna be out there. I make moves. You guys know I make moves. So we'll see what team I get, because that's the thing. Me and Eric will be random too, just like you guys. So everybody's on a even playing field with this. Hopefully, and that's the thing, is the random number generator. You guys can see me roll it on stream and have the numbers of the people. So there's no, oh, you picked yourself out of a hat by looking down and then you saw your name, so you picked it. There's none of that. It's completely random, and I cannot cheat it. So we're foolproof. We're Eric-proof. We're good to go. Yeah. Yep.
Cascade says, so sad we can't go to the Blazers Jazz game this week. Revenge was to be ours. Yeah.
I know that was supposed to be this week. That's crazy, man.
That feels so long ago.
It feels like time stopped in a way. Like the days keep rolling. It's like that would be in 3 days, but it feels like time has stopped because late March without basketball it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's crazy we'd already have our Final Four decided by now, though. Damn, I don't even want to talk about March Madness because I'm still depressed about that.
Yeah.
You guys called on all of us to go, so I bought tickets. Yeah, it's rough. I had the banner that usually plays my past podcasts on the bottom, and it was like displaying the SeatGeek code. So I changed it right before this stream. But changed it to that, threw that together as quick as I can. That Uprise podcast along the bottom. But
we're gonna meet up with Clays for that game too.
Yeah, we were. I had the schedule or the calendar on your face. Yeah, we're gonna meet up with Clays. Now Clays has coronavirus. Like crazy world. But yeah, I'm glad that we're back to a podcast. Gives me something to wake up for. Honestly, like one part of this for me is keeping my hours better than what they have been, because I've been waking up at like 7. It's not good, but also it's like not really. I haven't had anything to wake up for. Now I can wake up for this podcast. Hopefully, will help me fix my hours a little bit. Because I want to get outside and play some basketball by myself. Not around anybody, because I'm not trying to spread it, not trying to get it. Don't spread it, don't get it. But I want to play some basketball because I haven't played basketball in a while. I want to get some box jumps and start doing like the jump program that I never fully committed to doing, because I'd love to like come back to my rec league and just be athletic as hell, like have an extra 5 inches on my vertical. Doesn't sound like much, but an extra 5 inches is a lot, especially for somebody like me who can rim graze, and like once a month I'll have a good day where my legs feel good and I can like throw it down pretty cleanly. That jump, if I did a jump program, box jumps, that type of thing, I know my knees would feel a lot better, a lot stronger. My legs would just be better, and I'd be more athletic. So I want to. That's like one of the goals. But box jumps are like $100 and up. So, but that'd be cool, and like do like a once a week a little video. Like I could put it on the podcast once a week and say like my thoughts on how that jump program feels and is progressing and that type of thing. Maybe get some footage as well, but I'd probably just wait until after 8 weeks and see where I'm at. Hopefully I'll be throwing down windmills off the side of the backboard, but anyway, so what do you want to talk about?
I'd love to see that if you're doing that by the time the Rip City 3-on-3 tourney.
Yeah, if we even have a Rip City 3-on-3.
Yeah. Ben Hewitt asked, can a third-year player be signed to a two-way? I think if you've played in the NBA 3 seasons prior to the one coming up, that you are then ineligible. I think it's 3 years. I probably have to go look at that.
If you're going into your third year, you can be signed to a two-way. Yep. And that's the thing. We'll allow you guys to like, if once we get to free agency, we'll have to figure out a system for free agency. So it might be a bit.
Is Ben Hewitt one of the ones mentioned? Do you have him written down?
Oh no, does he want to be in it?
Or is he asking?
Does he even know what we're talking about?
Are you asking for real life or for?
Yeah, because we've been talking about our mock off season that we have planned for the first half. So,
but yeah, Ben, we need people if you want to play in our mock off.
Tommy, put that on this mailbag, and I'll answer it. That video might not be out until early tomorrow, just because we got this podcast and I was letting people ask questions. But go post that question on the. Why am I holding scissors right now? I don't know. I'm literally sitting here like playing with scissors. What is wrong with me? But post that question on the channel update comment section, and I will answer it in the mailbag. just because I could use a couple more questions for that, and that's actually a good question. We can talk about Jalen Horde. Ben would be down for sure. All right.
Ben's it. Yep.
Awesome.
Nice.
I figured it'd fill up. So we got 15, maybe 16. So we got more than 50%. And I will put out a video tomorrow. I don't know if you're here when I covered it, Ben, but I'll put out a video tomorrow covering what the Mox off season will consist of in more detail. It'll be a lot of fun though. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm actually looking forward to this.
Join Discord if you aren't on there.
Yeah, I posted a Discord link a little bit ago. I can post it again. He is in there. His name's in there. So actually, let me set his role too. Your name's gonna be Blue now.
Oh yeah, there he is. Yep.
But yeah, no, I like that I'm able to like set roles to people, so I can set like roles to people participating in this and make specific threads for them, for the people participating in this, and lock certain threads, that type of thing. But our Discord, it's been more active. So I'm actually, like I started up when I started the channel, and then it kind of died for a while. I want it to be more active.
I didn't even know you had one.
I had one all year. Exactly. I didn't like plug it. I didn't really participate in it or anything like that. But we get some active people in there. I'm hoping it'll be something active when basketball gets back. And it'll be that'll be fun to have that active and flowing and running. So anything you want to cover other than the topic, the title, because I do want to get into like what the NBA could look like.
Well, Clay said he was going to sign me to back down Hassan in the post. So.
Sign you to back down Hassan. We'll have a highlights montage of me and Eric being too confident about basketball, because it's not just me. We'll have to find that Hassan clip. The thing is, this, like, because I said wanted to do it, Sunday, Wednesday. The thing is with the highlights, might not have a video on Wednesday because I'm going through, like, streams and I'm separating clips based on, like, what type of clip highlights they are. So, honestly, by the time I'm done with, like, the first highlights video, I'll probably have around 5 that are almost completed just because I'm sorting out clips, if that makes sense. So now I have, like, a little bit of footage for a bunch of different types of highlight videos I have planned. So I just got to keep plugging away on that. So I might not have one Wednesday. I wouldn't count on one this Wednesday, but next Sunday I would count on one. And then, like, once I release one, they should be steady just because I'll have a lot of footage separated already for future highlight videos after that. Which I'm really looking forward to those videos, man, because those videos should be good.
Mm-hmm.
Should be entertaining. I'm having fun editing them. Looking back to, did you see the little teaser I included at the end of the update video? Oh man. I said like.
It seems so different.
I know, like my stream presence was so much different at the start. Like I was like slightly, I wasn't like nervous, but I was like still not like completely comfortable. Now it's like I go live, screw it, you know what I mean? That's, I wouldn't say that's my mindset, but like if I butcher words, it's just screw it, you know what I mean? Yeah. At the start of the season, if I butchered words, I'd try and like play it off and try and keep it smooth and try and be super professional with it, but I feel like that didn't really make much sense for YouTube. It's YouTube, so we'll just be ourselves, and I think that's what works.
Or at the beginning of the season, you would have been mad if you butchered like 10 intros in a row to streams, but now you don't care anymore. Yeah, it's like your thing now.
No. Well, I keep forgetting to check the mic, and Eric doesn't remind me, so he's complicit.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. Sorry if I'm. Oh, I didn't mean to go black screen. My finger slipped. Sorry if I'm being a punk to you.
No.
If you guys are in my Discord or you guys saw that comment section, this guy, man, apparently all I care about is taking your guys' money. I treat Eric like a punk. Eric should run the channel. I should be ousted from our channel, my channel. I don't even know what you got, whatever. and apparently I'm just a self-centered prick. That was the most annoying hate comment I've seen. Some of you guys don't know what I'm talking about, but on that update video, because I deleted the comments now, but on that update video, I don't even know how to respond to that. So sorry if I treat you like a punk, Eric, even though he misspelled your name. He couldn't even spell your name right.
It's all good.
What do you mean, it's all good? You're supposed to say, no, you treat me like a king. And I'll be like, yes, I do, sir. And I don't know, then we can be cool. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Dame Dollar asking for a 5-minute ban because I've told him before if he ever does that, if he ever fakes it, if he ever pretends that I'm muted when I'm not, I've told him because he's done that before, and I've told him don't do that, right? Well, it was specifically him, and he just did it again. So as long as my mic's still working, he's getting a 5-minute ban.
Oh man!
I've warned him. No, I've warned him. I've warned him specifically. I've warned him specifically. You're my guy, Dame Dollar, but I've warned you specifically, bro. We'll catch him in 5 minutes. He can quarantine and chill for 5 minutes. We're quarantining him off from the rest of the chat right now. So anyway, what could the NBA look like in which FSU wing should Portland target? Draft questions would be good for a mailbag or maybe upcoming podcast because we actually took a while to get into this. But I know JDC is which he posts here often. He loves Devin Vassell, so I don't know. I don't really like Devin Vassell, but I don't know. He just doesn't seem creative with his handle. Doesn't seem like an elite 3-point shooter or an elite defender. Like, just seems like he's just going to be a mediocre 3-and-D guy to me. Like a worse version of Mikal Bridges. But that's just what I see, you know.
Yeah.
JDC's been right on sleepers before, so he pays a ton of attention. Hopefully he tunes back in for like a draft podcast or something. We could do a draft podcast in the future. I still want to do random videos though, so some of them might be draft related. But anyway, let's get into the topic of this podcast, which is what could the NBA look like if we return? They've been speculating putting teams in a bubble, potentially at a Vegas hotel, which would probably be the best venue for it. Because like a lot of these hotels have event centers or whatever, where they basically put teams in a bubble, no contact to the outside world, which who knows how the player's going to feel about that. But then they'll play games in the event center, basically, and that'll protect players from getting infected because they won't have contact with the outside world, or it will be a limited contact, and they could stay in that hotel and then play games like in that hotel or in that complex or whatever. And that's assuming like that hotel would probably be closed, because I think a lot of hotels are closed in Vegas, right?
I think all the casinos on the Strip are, at least.
Yeah. So if they did that with like a hotel or something, that hotel would end up closed. Obviously 30 NBA teams, or maybe it's 15, maybe it's half of them or whatever. But imagine all 30 NBA teams staying in the same hotel. Nobody else, you have like the staff or whatever, but nobody else, right? And they have no contact with the outside world. Imagine that, bro. That would need to be like a reality TV show, because they could, talk to each other. They're playing against each other, all like safe amongst each other. So I assume you'd have these guys in the hotel, like hanging out with each other. Like, who knows? You know what I mean? Like, how would that even look? Like, what do you think of that whole idea?
I think it'd be cool. Obviously, it's not as good as getting to play the games in front of your fans and stuff, but at this point, I would take it if that's the only way to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that would be kind of fun. And there's that in Vegas in particular. There's that, what is it, T-Mobile Arena or something? It's right there on the Strip. Mm-hmm. So like it could be easily doable. But you really wouldn't even need to play in a big arena. You could play at any gym if that was the case.
Yeah.
They could also have it at the Thomas and Mack Center where they have Summer League.
Yeah. But that's not even really by a hotel.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they're shuttling them, they could do that. I'm just hoping that they delay it until they can get fans back in the arena, because I want to be there for Nurk's return, or I want fans to be there for Nurk's return and Collins' return for that Memphis game. The only way I could see that happening is if we really, flatten the curve, if it's really dropping off, combined with some of the treatment that could hypothetically work for it actually works. So they have a couple, like a combination of drugs. I read this report that says some doctor has successfully treated upwards of 700 patients using a combination of different drugs. By June, we should know if there is a treatment that really works for this, for coronavirus or not. If there is, a treatment that really, really works for it, and it's not a lethal threat like it is for vulnerable populations, then hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's A, contained enough, and B, the danger of it is reduced to the point that we can go back to our daily lives and have fans in a stadium. That is the most optimistic view, I think. But that's what I'm hoping for. It helps me financially with my SeatGeek code, and it'd be that's I don't know if I want it more for that, or if I want it more for just to have fans in the stadium, so we can have just fans in the stadium for Nurkic's return, Collins' return, so we can have Blazer basketball. It'd be cool to be able to go to games in June or July. That would be awesome. They can move back the start of next season and kind of work around that, so we could have basketball in the summer, which is something that we've never really experienced, especially in beautiful Portland, where it's beautiful in the summer. You can leave a game and it's 70 degrees outside and nice, and the sun is setting. That'd be awesome, I think. So I'm really, really hoping that they're able to get fans in the stadium. It's not likely, but I have my fingers crossed.
Yeah. So I don't know if you saw, but there was some news today. It came out that the NBA has something written into the contracts where they have to play 70 games of the NBA season in order for the contracts to be fully guaranteed. Mm-hmm. So the Blazers, for example, have only played 66, and most teams have played between 63 and 67, I believe. So, and then also on top of that, I guess a lot of the regional sports networks, I'm not sure if NBC Northwest would apply to this, but they said most of them, they have that 70-game clause too. So I don't know if they would be prorated then on how much compensation. So the NBA could lose a ton of money in TV revenue if that's the case. Obviously, prorated off of 70 games instead of 67 isn't a huge amount of money, but every little bit's going to help when determining salary cap for future years and stuff like that. But also, the players aren't going to want to accept only getting a portion of their contracts this year, which is likely to happen if they don't resume the regular season and just go straight to the playoffs. So that's given me a little bit of hope that the NBA will try to make a way to make the regular season work out and not just go directly to the playoffs if they do play, which is one of my worries, because that would eliminate the Blazers and put them in the worst possible spot for the lottery as well. So whether we lost every game the rest of the season or won every game the rest of the season or somewhere in between, we just don't have a chance to either move up in the lottery anymore or move into that playoff spot. And the other frustrating part about that is if the season does resume, it looks like Zach and Nurk would both be ready to play as soon as it happens. So I feel like we'd have a pretty good team coming back to that as well. So to not get to see that happen would be pretty devastating, I think.
Yeah. And
but yeah, that 70% thing is crucial, I think, because that means the Blazers would probably play at minimum 4 regular season games still. I don't know if that's enough to catch Memphis, obviously.
I think Memphis is 3.5 games ahead. Of course, one of those games is against Memphis. So we'd have to win that, get 2.5 games back with 3 left. But honestly, if you have to play 70 games, just play the full 82. Like, you're already at 70,
right.
Maybe you can condense, obviously they could tweak the schedule, condense the last 12 games into 24 days. That's a little over 3 weeks, and play the rest of the season. If you're at 70, just go to 82, so you have the full integrity of the season. You can push back the start of next season to like Christmas, because they've thought about that idea. I don't like that idea permanently, but if you have basketball up through like the end of August or something, or into September even, which I think would be fine, maybe don't play games on Sundays with the NFL returning, but you'd have maybe NBA Finals or the conference finals in September while the NFL season's starting. That would be pretty cool. Something we haven't seen before. Entertainment from a sports standpoint. And you could literally just push back the start of next season. It's not that much of a layoff between the start of next season and the end of this season, but they have a long layoff right now, and then they come back. Some teams will only play like 15 games, and then they'll be off for another 4 months. Like, I think it would be fine from a timeline standpoint to do something like that. I don't think they have to rush anything. Maybe you go back to the first round being a best-of-5 series, which has happened in the past, if you have to, but like, I don't think you have to rush things unless the season like starts back up in July or end of July. Yeah. At that point, then, stuff gets out the window. But I hear them talking about starting the season in June or mid-June or late June, and then only playing a couple games and then going straight to the playoffs and only having like a 5-game first-round series and then a 1-game second round or something. Like, I've heard that tossed around, and it's like, why we gotta do all that? You know what I mean? If you really have to condense things, play the rest of the season, only have 5-game series and play through all. Like, I just don't see the rush to end the season by like end of August or even like the start of September. You could play until the end of September and start it back up on Christmas. Like, we can be flexible. That's why I don't understand. It's not like we're the MLB and we have the whole start of our season wiped out. We have a month of our season wiped out. So,
yeah. Well, too, MLB has to worry about, with the exception of a few teams that play in domes, like weather is a factor. Mm-hmm. Whereas, I mean, like a lot of people don't like to be indoors during the summer, but I think people would understand. Like, I don't know. It's not like games can be rained out or. Because that's the problem with pushing back the MLB season is you can't really play past October too much because the weather in most of those cities is bad to where you might not even get all the playoff games in. Whereas the NBA, if you're in arenas, like, it doesn't matter. You can play those anytime. And you mentioned this on previous shows, is like have some morning games or afternoon games if there's a concert scheduled that night. Like, just make it work. Like, who cares? Like, just play the games. It doesn't matter how you play them.
There's options available if they're able to get back into normal stadiums. If they're able to get back to normal in terms of playing in front of fans in home cities of teams, they'll have options to work around certain issues and still maintain the integrity of the season, which in my opinion is an 82-game season. It's supposed to be an 82-game season. It would suck for us to only have 70 games, only have a couple games to try and make up ground on Memphis. We have one against them, but that would only be our second game against them of the year. We'd miss out on another chance to gain ground and the extra games that we were expecting. The extra games that we were expecting with a healthier team too. So I'm not a fan of not playing the full 82. If they have to like condense series a little bit, then do that. But I think you have so little season left that you shouldn't sacrifice 12 games.
Yeah. Well, the thing about that is if you don't really do much of the regular season or you just go straight to the playoffs, you have 14 teams that are done with their season then, and like I don't. Like, what about those teams' revenues and, playing in their home games that they're going to miss out on and all that stuff? Like, that, I don't know if that's particularly fair, but honestly, there's not really a fair way to do it. So, like, I don't know. I'm just hoping there's games.
I don't think you need a long layoff between the end of the season and the start of next season. Almost half the league is going to have a, like, at least, like, 3-month layoff after the end of this season. That'll come after they have like a 3-month layoff before starting back up basketball. So they'll have like a month of basketball amid 7 months off for teams that don't make the playoffs. For teams that make the playoffs, like, teams that make a run, you could be, you won't have much time, but that'll only be a couple teams. They can load manage players the next year. That's something that's been a thing. So I just don't see the need to condense the regular season. That's my entire takeaway. That's the one thing, no matter what they do, that's the one thing I hope they don't do, is condense this season. Because it just kind of, it screws the Blazers, that's part of it, but also it's like, there's no point to do it, in my opinion.
I did read an article today saying that the draft had to take place. They could move it back, but it had to be by the end of September or something. I'm not sure why, but...
we'll get that in. We could even do that. They could even do that, like, in between the regular season and the playoffs if they had to.
Right.
Because you would have your lottery set. So you do the lottery, then you draft maybe, a week later. It can be during the first round of the playoffs. It would be weird. Playoff teams wouldn't make trades, but maybe you'd hold off on trades until after the playoffs. You wouldn't really have like...
No, that'd be hilarious if like the Rockets traded Westbrook, but then he had to go play in the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, he's traded after the playoffs is done. Like, he already knows he's traded, but he's still there for the playoffs. It'd be like a lame duck situation. That'd be very, very weird. But and that's, I don't know, like the end of September. That's not, should be able to finish the season by the end of September. And if you have 2 finals teams in the playoffs, like, to have the draft before the finals, it'd be fine. You know what I mean? Like, if you have to run the finals into October for some reason, like...
I got it. Have the draft before the playoff starts, and then all the players can play on teams. So like Obi Toppin, if he got drafted to like a playoff team,
that'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool. You'd probably only get like the top few picks in the draft, and they'd all be on lotto teams anyway. Because this draft isn't deep. If this is a really deep draft, that'd be really interesting. That'd be kind of cool. Like, welcome to the NBA here, playoff basketball.
I was trying to think of a team that would have like a lottery pick that actually currently, if the season ended today, there's no lottery picks that are changing hands, so never mind.
Yeah. Golden State's the only like good franchise with a high pick.
The highest traded pick right now is Brooklyn's pick is going to Minnesota right now, and Memphis right behind them at 17 is going to Boston.
I think that Brooklyn pick to Minnesota was originally traded to Atlanta, then it was a part of that Capella trade.
It was part of the Crab trade originally, and then part of the Capella trade.
Yeah, because they were like in multiple trades together. Minnesota and Atlanta are like trading buddies, I guess. But yeah, so anyway, that's a wrap for this podcast. It was nice to get back to doing a podcast. We will have that update video, mailbag, probably early tomorrow morning, sometime around then. I'm looking forward to putting that out. Looking forward to getting consistent and hopefully getting, people kind of tuned back into the channel. I know they're worried about a lot more important things than Blazers Uprise, like if they can put food on the table, if they can pay their rent. So hopefully, we're just a reprieve from the struggle of the planet right now. Hopefully we can brighten up people's days if they're struggling with this whole pandemic. That's the goal. So, and
if you're watching this back later and want to join our mock off season, join the Discord page.
Yeah, leave a comment down in the comment section below. Yeah. I will. Just actually leave a comment because I don't have a link in the description.
Oh, okay.
Just leave a comment down below if you're watching this back as a recording, and I will post a Discord link on that comment for you to join the Discord, and I will write you down on the list that I have, where I have like 15 or 16 people already. So spots are actually filling up. We might be able to get one person for each team. So yeah, let me know if you're interested in that. Anything else left to plug on the outro?
No, I think that about covers it.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a good week ahead. Next podcast will be on Friday. So until then, peace out. Go Blazers.